Hey guys, welcome back. I hope that everyone had a safe and restful Thanksgiving break. This Ed puzzle will stop and ask you questions that appear on the slides. That way you can respond directly to them without having to switch between slides and a Google Doc. Please remember to mark this assignment as done when you are finished back in Google Classroom. So you'll submit it through Edpuzzle, but then you'll need to go back, do the extra step of going back to Google Classroom and view the assignment, mark it as done or complete or turn in or whatever the little magic button does in Google Classroom that alerts your teacher, Mrs. Crawford, Mrs. Walker, or Mrs. Lau, that you have finished this assignment. So today's lesson's focused on these ideas. One, we will talk about what we were doing right before break because we've had some sleeps since then. Two, we will talk about candy dissolving. Second, so yum. And then finally, three, we will talk about an at-home lab that you can try. The third thing, this at-home lab is completely 100% optional. It's kind of cool if you've got the stuff around your house. Please do not go out and buy these things. Just if you've got it, great. If you don't, no big deal, but just it's something fun that you can try at home. Okay, so first, what were we doing before break? We were talking about how particles might be different in different conditions. And I gave the example of the iced tea and the hot tea as the exit ticket on Friday in my classes. So, my students, hopefully, you remember these images. If not, uh, think about them now. So, how are iced tea and hot tea similar or different? So, if you could do a tea chart, a compare and contrast of iced tea and hot tea, the liquids, how would they be similar? How would they be different? And then, what do you think we could see if we zoomed in really, really close to these liquids? Not the ice cubes; those are solids. The liquids inside of the cups. And then finally, this is the question you will answer on the Ed puzzle. What what would be similar or different at the particle scale? What would be similar or different at the particle scale? Answer that question now. So let's do a quick thought experiment. So if the iced tea, if we zoomed into the liquid in the iced tea at 0 minutes and then later at 30 minutes, how would the particles be the same or different? So compare and contrast. Think in your brain what it might look like if we zoomed into the iced tea liquid at 0 minutes when it's probably at its coldest. What would those particles look like? They're still going to be separated, kind of loosey goosey. That's why they're liquid, but closer together. At 30 minutes, when maybe all the ice has melted, the tea's not as cold as it was at the very beginning, those particles are still going to be loosey goosey, but they might be spread apart a little bit more. And then the hot tea. If we zoomed into a liquid in the hot tea at 0 minutes and then later at 30 minutes, how would the particles be the same or different? So it's almost the reverse of the iced tea. So at 0 minutes, they would be the hottest. So the particles would be a little spread out, a little further apart, um, maybe moving a little more quickly. And then after it's been sitting out room temperature at 30 minutes, the hot tea is going to have cooled off. Those particles are still going to be a liquid formation, but they are going to be closer together, maybe even moving a little bit more slowly. So keeping this image of this steaming hot cup of whatever in mind, answer these next three questions that pop up on the Ed puzzle. All right, yummy, finally, dissolving candy. I came across a video showing candy dissolving at different water temperatures. And so as you watch this video, you might jot down some things that you notice or that you wonder because you know that's going to be the next question that you will have to type an answer for anyway. So feel free to do that at this time. Set up a little notice and wonder tea chart on a scrap of paper. Get ready, study. Here is the video. So the dish all the way to the left is hot water. The dish in the middle is warm water. And the dish on the right is cold water. Okay, so you know what the question's going to be. What did you notice? And then the question following that will be, what do you wonder? So please make sure that you include three notices and one wonder, which is a question. So three things you noticed and one thing, one question you now have. Okay, and then these are the instructions for the at-home lab. This part is completely optional, not required. You do not have to do this part. I also have this entire slideshow that's in the Edpuzzle attached to your Google Classroom assignment. So if you want to go back and look at these slides, if you want to do the lab at a different time, that way you can go ahead and finish up this Edpuzzle and mark the assignment as complete. You can do that at this time. So, but before I end the Edpuzzle, these are the things that you need for the at-home investigation. You would need 3 plastic cups, a measuring cup, cold water, hot water, room temperature water, and some food coloring. It does not matter what color it is. Some food coloring, liquid food coloring, not the gel stuff, the liquid stuff. And then here are the procedures. There's 6 steps that you will follow. Again, these slides are in Google Classroom, so you can go back and actually do this lab after the video. And then there's a place for you to make a little prediction about what you think would happen. You did tested hot water and cold water. What would happen with room temperature water?